Some of you may think this story is familiar, and it is. This is the exact same story we've covered about the US, about Australia. Now Airstrip 1 is talking about it. Gen Z aren't proud to be British. Wouldn't go to war for our country, and they think Airstrip 1 is racist. Oh, your little brainwashing backfired on you, huh? So, like I said when we were talking about Australia having this problem, half the population will refuse to fight for the country because they've been villainized and blamed for everything and attacked and called evil. The other half won't want to do it either because they've been brainwashed into thinking the country is evil and systemically racist and all that good stuff. Like it says in the headline here, that they view the country as racist because you brainwashed them into that. And now because of that, they're like, why am I going to fight and die for this racist country? How about no? This is what happens when you don't think even a single move ahead. Stark new studies has revealed the deep generational divide in Airstrip 1, with half of Gen Z believing the country is racist and just 11% saying they would be willing to fight for it in a war. Yeah, I think most people, it would be, all right, who are we fighting? Yeah, certain groups I might be willing to fight if their winning would be a lot worse than what we have now. But if a country I'd like better happens to be attacking, a different answer there. The research conducted by The Lies in partnership with pollsters YouGov paints a strikingly different picture from a study carried out 20 years ago. That was before wokeness really exploded like it did. Back then, young Britons, the first millennials coming of age, were largely optimistic about the future and proud to be British. But today's Gen Z, aged 18 to 27, appear to have far more negative outlook on their country and its future. Well, when you see all your corrupt politicians being able to keep getting away with all this and never getting punished, what are you supposed to say, huh? The findings have alarmed political and military figures, with General Sir Patrick Sanders, head of the army, warning if we're not prepared to fight for our freedom and way of life, we will become prey. We will become prey in a world of predators. You realize you're trying to say that to two different groups of people who you've been quote unquote oppressing. A lot of these people they view you as the one taking away their freedom. Like, did you realize that? A lot more of these people view you as the villain than you seem to recognize. Yeah, I bet your average Brit is like, why would I die for Ukraine? Why would I die in Russia? Russia's never done anything to me. My own government, on the other hand. Back in current year minus 21, the live survey found that 80% of young Britons were proud of their country. Today, the number has fallen to just 41%. I'm surprised it's still that high. Considering how quickly both sides have been getting demoralized. The latest study, which questioned 1,161 young adults across the broad range of topics, including crime, religion, mental health, and politics, found that 50% of Gen Z believe Britain is racist, and just 15% think the country is united. Half also said Britain is stuck in the past. No, I think if anything, the problem with Britain is they were too quick to leave the good parts of the past that actually worked behind. And yeah, who are this 15% that still think the country is united, though? Like it's obviously hasn't been for so long. The survey included extensive interviews and focus groups in Birmingham and Wakefield to gain deeper understanding of these attitudes. Okay, so you had these people do the survey, and then you saw their answers and got freaked out. Like, hey, wait a minute, can we just pay you more to keep you around a little bit longer? What do you mean by this? It's kind of scaring me. Our participants came from a range of socioeconomic backgrounds, revealing that concerns about inequality, politics, and national identity are widespread among young people. The results have sparked concern among political leaders. So the same political leaders that have been capitalizing off of all this division are now starting to regret it. Too late at this point. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch wrote in the newspaper, "This is what happens when we let divisive narratives run wild." Yeah, and she's absolutely right. Meanwhile, experts suggest the shift is due to both economic struggles and cultural divides. Bobby Duffy, director of the Policy of the Institute at the Policy Institute at King's College London, pointed to wage stagnation, which has made it hard for young people to accumulate wealth, as well as growing tensions over political and social issues. Now, I don't think the tensions are growing per se. They've always been pretty high. I think it's more the right has finally just decided enough. All right, we're not playing this anymore. Cultural issues have become far more central to politics. You've had Brexit, the Transformer debate, a host of other issues where young people increasingly feel at odds with older generations. Well, would you find it even funnier to know that the even younger people, the ones coming up behind you, agree with the oldies? Some weird reason. To further explore generational contrast, researchers also reran some of the same survey questions with older age groups. Results confirmed a widening gap between identity and attitude towards Britain's future. The study comes 2 decades after a similar survey at the turn of the millennium found that young Britons who had grown up at the end of the Cold War were overwhelmingly proud of their country. 20 years ago, young Britons entered adulthood during an era of economic stability, optimism, and expanding global opportunities. In contrast, Gen Z has grown up amid political upheaval, raising living costs, and concerns over inequality, leading many to feel disconnected from their country's past and uncertain about its future. Yes. So you've been telling them that they don't matter, or that they're the victim of something. Oh, something doesn't go your way. Oh, it's because you were victimized. And then they're not going to want to fight for a country that victimizes them. Why would you think they would? With national pride and willingness to defend Britain at historic lows, the study raises a serious question about the country's ability to unite across generations and what that means for its future. Same problem as the U.S. has. Same problems as Australia has. You villainize half the population. You tell the other half they're victims. You wonder why nobody gives a fuck anymore. Yeah, national pride is raised. Yeah, that's right. They were told that. I mean, they're told that Britain is a racist country. So if you like it, if you support it, yeah, the demoralization worked. Yep. Although in this case, the demoralizers, they never planned for what they're going to do now. Yeah, now they're just like, oh shit, now we're going to go down with them. Uh-oh. Yeah, think of how eager they are to feed a bunch of their own citizens the meat grind of a war with Russia. Who needs enemies when your own government wants to do that to you? So why don't we instead, if the military falls short in recruitment, why not send politicians to fight? They'd be a lot less likely to vote in favor of a war if they themselves had to fight in it. So let's do that. Let's make it happen.